team and for the wars you guys host. That's perfectly fine. But you cannot make another group change its rules because you don't like their rules. That's what my initial point was. You don't like their rules, you can't change their rules. That's their rules. Now, if you don't like their rules, you can openly state differently in your rules that you can qualify everything that they have is illegal. Meaning if, let's say you guys had a war and you did want to have complete DAG rules, complete DAG weapons, the Ronin would have to come with DAG qualified weapons in order to participate in that war. And if they did not, they cannot participate. This whole ordeal is so blown out of proportions over a freaking arrow. 2 inches, 1 inch, doesn't matter the fact of the foam. Safety, control, doesn't matter. The whole point, these arrows, right here, are qualified for Ronin use. Ronin qualifies this as an okay arrow. If you guys made arrows, the Ronin would either have to show you how to make them before you made them, or make them for you, or, test them, inspect them, whatever you want to say, before you guys were allowed to use arrows you've made. Same thing I would expect if we decided to make DAG arrows and come to one of your event, or have even 2 inch more foam, which I have done that one time before, and I specifically remember hearing Nathan and like 1 or 2 other people say, those are not safe, those are not DAG arrows. And I had 2 inches of foam on them. Because I had bought tips that someone told me were LARPing tips, which were not LARPing tips, that I know for in fact were an inch wide, flat surface. And everyone was like, oh, well, just put foam over them and then that'll be fine. We did. We shot them, we tested them before the war. No one cared. They were fine. They're okay. And I still specifically remember Nathan saying, and whoever else was with him, these are not DAG arrows. They are not safe. They were an inch, inch and a half, 2 inches. Somewhere in that range. This is almost an inch as it is. I don't know if my fingers are that little knuckle, whatever you want to call it, exactly an inch, but 81, oh no, never mind, excuse me. Well, no, yeah, it's about an inch. That's 80, that's 80. Get this so you can see the whole thing. There's 81. It's a centimeter away from an inch. So it's half of what you guys are wanting anyways. It looks smaller, but when you set it up against a tape measure, it's not. Yeah, it could go into someone's eye. That stuff I found that were put up there by actual doctors replying. I'll even call BS on how a knife it's not supposed to be able to cut an eye. I'm not about to test that theory though. Accidents happen. Accidents could happen with arrows. I have been to a DAG event before you guys went, before I even joined their own, before I knew anything about them, that had Sam and Joe and Sunshine. I don't know if you guys know who they are. At a DAG event. And Ashley was there, and I actually was talking to Ashley. And she's told me she had to take someone to the hospital or something. Something about how someone had an arrow embedded in the side of their face. And it was a DAG arrow. The arrow went through the foam. Same thing can happen with these though, but it doesn't matter the amount of foam. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And it happens because either A, they weren't made right, or B, the foam needed to be replaced and nobody replaced it, or C, the person shooting the bow didn't know how to use it right. Well, or D, the bow had too much pull. But the amount of pull our bows have that we use will not go through these foam. I did the exact same thing you guys did. On actual styrofoam. Right here. and it didn't go through. If you want me to make another video with my black bow, which is a 22-pound pull bow, I will. But this is a 75-pound pull bow, that red one was. Russ has one. I know for a fact he has one. I think one or two other people have one. I'm not too sure. But an arrow with the foam that we make for safety, yeah, it may be able to go into your eye. But from the stuff I found out and statistics and everything, I would believe that being able to hit someone else in the eye with one of these arrows would be 1 in a million chance. It's the same thing as being hit by lightning or winning the lottery. That's how I see it. But regardless of the matter of fact, you guys are entitled to your opinion, we're entitled to our opinion, council's entitled to theirs, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. We're not going to change the Ronin stuff because you guys don't like it. It was that simple. That's what the whole point was, that no one got that I was trying to argue. You're not going to be able to vote and change another group's rules that you have no power and no control over. That's what my initial point was. You cannot change what you have no power to change. You guys are, none of you are Ronin. You're ninja or whatever you guys are. But you're not Ronin. You're not in the Ronin group. Therefore, you can't change our rules just because you don't like them. We are allowed to practice in our ways and our styles however we choose. You guys can criticize us and say it's not safe and stuff all you want. If you don't like what we do, don't join our group. If we host a war and you don't like what we do, don't come. I've already openly stated, until I'm able to shoot the arrows better, like I used to when I first used the bow, I'm not going to use it anymore. So you guys probably won't see bows for quite some time. Because the reason I had the skill I did before is because painstakingly, day after day, for like 3 or 4 months straight, I would spend hours outside shooting the bow across my yard. To when I could angle and do everything right. It was pointless for all this to get this blown out of proportions and people trying to badmouth each other over a literal fucking arrow. It shows how much faith everyone has in each other as martial artists, and regardless of if they have a belt or not. I have been through several dojos in my life, and I'm currently in Ido as it is. And only reason I'm not taking hand-to-hand martial arts is because I currently do not have the money in the situations that are going on here, which no one knows about. Otherwise, I would be taking both, because they're at the same place. It's just a 3-day argument over something so petty that has brought out the worst in many a different people over something so petty, something so stupid, something so juvenile, whatever you want to call it. Different groups, different rules, different preferences, so on, so forth. That's all it basically is. And wow, I've made a 23-minute speech. Well done. Anyways, again, if you guys want me to shoot on a fresh piece of styrofoam, I will. No issues. If you want to see me shoot with the black bow, again, no issues. If you want me to shoot it at point blank, again, no issues. Want me to show you how I deconstruct one of these and then show you how I made them, I can, so you guys can do it and try it. I don't care, but I know what I just did. I shot styrofoam. It bounced off with a 75-pound pull bow. I know what I did. If you guys still criticize me, well, I just did the same thing you did. Except I didn't go out and buy one of those things to test it on. I had styrofoam laying around, so I shot the styrofoam. Simple as that. It's simple as that.